fearing the Lord. That's what we're talking about today. Actually, I've been talking about that for the most part for over a year now, because we've been going through the book of Proverbs, and that is one of the main themes: wisdom and fear of the Lord. There you go. That's that's the book of Proverbs summed up in a few words. So today we're going to take a look at the fear of the Lord in wisdom and instruction. The fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction. So Proverbs 15:33, the fear of the Lord is instruction in wisdom, and humility comes before honor. So here we go. Reverence for God is not only our duty, but also our greatest gain, since the fear of the Lord initiates and instructs us in true wisdom. When we faithfully adhere to God's principles, our knowledge grows, our errors are corrected, and we are guided securely along the right path. An ongoing sense of His majesty will direct us toward wise decisions and correct us when we do wrong. It sets guard over our actions. Humility towards others is both a sign and a preparation for the honor God gives. Those who willingly humble themselves will find that God exalts them, both in this life, according to His will, and ultimately in eternity. In showing humility towards others, we prepare our hearts for our honor that comes from God's grace. And so the fear of the Lord is instruction in wisdom. We learn wisdom when we fear the Lord. And then we have this humility that comes. The humility is actually the sign, and it's the preparation for the honor that God gives. So if God's going to give honor, you have to be humble first. If He's going to honor you, if you're going to be exalted, that's what it says. I forget where it is. But you have to be humble before if you humble yourself, He will exalt you. That's the idea. So here we find that in Proverbs as well. So a lot of the teachings that we see, even most of the teachings of the New Testament are found in the book of Proverbs as well. Like what to do, how to live, all those instructional things. There's not really that much difference from the book of Proverbs when you get into the New Testament. You can probably find almost all the instructions, all the commands in the New Testament that Paul, Peter, and Jude and the others taught all those instructions. And a lot of Jesus taught wisdom as well. I mean, wisdom shouldn't change. That's the idea. All these instructions that we've been given were given from the beginning. How to be holy, how to live a holy life has been the same from the beginning. That brings us to Proverbs 16:6. By steadfast love and faithfulness, iniquity is atoned for, and by the fear of the Lord, one turns away from evil. So here's wisdom and instruction lived out, right? The guilt of sin is not atoned for by sacrifices, but by the mercy and truth of God. Mercy in His promises and truth in their fulfillment. These two attributes meet perfectly in Jesus Christ, the mediator of the new covenant. As Micah 6:7-8 says, God desires mercy, not this empty ritual, and the heart of His people must reflect His mercy and truth. Through these, we find forgiveness, and these qualities in our lives are essential for receiving the pardon He offers. So by steadfast love and faithfulness, iniquity is atoned for. Ultimately, that's what we see in Christ. Steadfast love and faithfulness came together in one person, and He atoned for our sin. But for us as people, for us to be fit for eternity, for us to be trained for eternity, that's where we go, right? We have to have these qualities in ourselves, and God works these into us, and we should desire these. We should desire steadfast love and faithfulness. So while mercy and truth cleanse the soul, it is the fear of the Lord that directs believers away from sin. A reverent fear of God instills a holy dread in their heart, making sin unappealing and leading to a departure from evil. As believers maintain this fear, they are strengthened to resist temptation and live in holiness. So the fear of the Lord brings that upon us. It brings this I don't want to do this. I hate this. I want to get away from it. There's this anger and dread of sin. We don't want it. And so that's the idea, is I don't want to do these bad things anymore. I'm sick of this, and looking to grow and to learn, because, fear of the Lord is wisdom, learning how to live that out. So steadfast love and faithfulness, iniquity is atoned for, and by the fear of the Lord, one turns away from evil. So that's it for today. Come back next time and we will look at the next part where fear the Lord versus